All right. How are you?
I'm good. I told you right before recording that it was nap time for everyone, but Danny told me that I'm lying. It is bath time for her. So she's like just off screen licking the daylights out of herself, and hopefully it's not too noisy.
Amazing.
So she's like, no, it's not nap time. I'm gonna be a menace now.
Of course.
Right.
Always.
Yes. How are you?
I am good. I am ready for Halloween.
Me too. I mean, I am, but also I say that knowing full well that I probably will drop the ball on doing a costume or any sort of like actual Halloween things. I'll probably put a pumpkin on my porch and be like, I've done Halloween.
This is
So,
true. But then again, like Halloween is my favorite holiday and I don't do anything. I just like the vibes. Like I like Halloween movies and scary books and scary shows and that's it. Like just the vibes.
yes. Yes, like if I can turn my porch lights off so no one bothers me while I sit and read like a cozy show with a cozy like drink in my hands, then I've done Halloween correctly.
Exactly.
Like let me have my spooky stuff at home by myself with no one bothering me or
Yeah.
interrupting it.
I just need my annual rewatch of The Nightmare Before Christmas, and that's it. That's all I do.
Perfect.
So, on that note, we're going to give you some Halloween or fall, autumn
Yes.
adjacent vibes because as we were doing this, I think we both realized we didn't actually watch like a lot of Halloween kind of themed BLs or GLs at this point. We haven't really gotten to all the scary ones yet, so we don't have a lot of
Yes.
those recs.
Well, and I also realized like there are so many good occult like BLs out there, like vampires and ghosts and all this stuff. And then I went to make my list and realized how many of them are on my to watch list and how few of
hmm
them are on my watched list.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I definitely leaned heavily into the just like general fall vibes with my list, but I do have some like horror-ish things
yeah. That was what I
as well.
saw too. Like making my list, I was like, oh, there's this one that I haven't watched yet. Oh, there's this one with vampires, and I haven't watched it yet. Oh, what about the ghost? Nope, haven't watched that yet. So I have like some, creepy, like mystery thriller types, and then like just some kind of cozy, like autumn vibes.
Perfect. So we're both on the same page there then.
Yeah.
So
Should I go first?
you should go first.
Okay, this is actually a good place to start because it is like my creepiest one, but also my shortest one.
Okay.
So my first rec is He, She, It, which is like a Thai, kind of almost like a mini, I want to call it a mini series because I think like I think in total it's like half an hour or something. Like it's very short. Um, it's essentially like the tragedy of complicated relationships between teenagers. So we have kind of a group of friends and somebody dies. There's like a really kind of like there's like lying and betrayal and secrets and in the mix somebody dies and then there's kind of the supernatural results of that. Um, I will say like the main reason I watch it is because it is Jeff Satter's debut series. Like it was the first thing he ever did in acting. So, and also like I was like, "Ooh, you creepy man, like I see why you picked that as your very first show." Because
Yes.
it is creepy, it is dark, it's very like it gives you it's very like it's not like scary. Like if you're not a good horror person, like you can watch it. It's not like that scary that like you will really be like terrified, but it's very much like something not right is happening. Like there is some creepy supernatural vibes. Like it's dark. It's, kind of sad and melancholy. Like it's very ooh, it just gives you a little like shiver up the spine, like creepy, you know?
Yes.
It's great. I love it. Jeff's obviously great. It's he's with gameplay in that one, which he did ingredients with as well. And I wish they had worked together more because they're so good together. But check it out. It's
Yeah,
really short, so you can watch it in one go.
I love it. I like how many like micro series that we've been getting where it's, very short episodes or like short films or things like that where you can kind of watch it all in one sitting and be like,
Hmm.
I've seen the whole show and it only took me half an hour.
Yeah.
It's very, feels very accomplished, I
Yeah.
guess.
This one is
Um,
old. It's like 2019, I think. So it's a bit
okay.
older, but I think the short runtime, like it does what it needs to do, and it's very, it gives you the vibes. It's got the like Halloween creepy vibes for you.
Yes. It sounds really good. I do think it's funny how Jeff like exclusively works with people with very digital sounding names, gameplay, barcode, like
That's so
of
true.
all of the names, he has like a theme in his partners, I guess.
He does.
So,
Yeah. He also does a lot of not so happy series.
yes.
Like Ingredients, it was really cute and light and fun. But like He, She, It, obviously Kin Porsche, and then he did Paradise of Thorns, which I haven't watched yet. But like that is like people are like being like, be careful when you watch this. It is gonna kill you. Like it is gonna break break you. Um, and then his new like the his upcoming one is also got the creepy vibes. Like he's just a
You mean happy ending isn't likely to have a happy ending?
no, no.
I mean, that
He's just a
trailer, I've watched it so many times lately, even. I watched it like last week.
and
I
this
think
is
give me all of the Jeff content.
and I
So,
think this is part of why I liked He, She, It. Like, obviously, it in itself is good, but I think I liked it because I'm like, oh, I see your brain, Jeff. Like, I see who you are as a person
yeah.
and who you are as an actor, and I get it, and I love your weird, dark little brain.
Yes, I see the trajectory.
Yeah, I see how we got from point A to a happy ending. Like, I can, whoop, I see it.
Yes. Well, it's interesting that you mention betrayal and like dark themes, and also that you mentioned Jeff because mine is a barcode show. So, there is no Jeff in it, unfortunately. But I am talking about Dead Friend Forever, which is not your typical BL. It's not really a BL at all, except there are BL elements. In fact, like one of the NC scenes is so absolutely iconic. And I feel like there's nothing more horror coded than like getting it on while you and all of your friends are like dying off in the wilderness. I mean, that seems like very queer and dark and gross, and I love it. Um, but also like this show is very much for someone who is like accustomed with horror
Mhm.
and okay with a little gore because it did not shy away from the death in the show. I mean, it was bloody and gruesome. There are some moments that I'm like still thinking about over a year later that I'm like, oof, I don't know that I was fully ready for that. Um, but in Dead Friend Forever, you find a group of friends who are returning to a vacation home that one of them, like their family owns, and they're celebrating one of their friends who's getting ready to study abroad. Um, so they're having like this farewell party essentially. But during the farewell party, they're talking about this film that they made back in high school. Um, and just like bringing up the last time they were there. But since then, their group has kind of changed because one of them has gone missing and was never heard from again. One of them, like, is new to the group. He like started school after this guy, so he's like, I don't know anything about this kid at all. You're gonna have to tell me all about him. I don't know anything about this story. And another one is, like the boyfriend of somebody who's in the group. And so he's kind of new to the whole situation, but he's also kind of curious about what's all going on. And so they start talking about this film and whether or not the space is haunted. And some of them are very much, we need to keep these secrets in the past. They have nothing to do with us anymore. And others are like, no, we need to talk about this. And then they start having to talk about it because more and more of them are starting to die and they need to know why and what is attacking them and if it's supernatural or if it's related to the fact that they went and filmed this and then all of a sudden one of them never fully returned slash recovered after that situation. Um, and so they have to kind of start asking if the danger is coming from inside of the house. And if it is it one of them that's causing this to happen?
Mm.
Is it the ghost of this person who may or may not be dead? Is it one of the people within their own group who wants the secrets to come out? Or is it a supernatural being that is like completely haunted and that was why they filmed it on this creepy mountain in the first place? So you've got all of these different things happening. You have flashbacks to the past. You have a lot of things about grooming and bullying. You have secret relationships. You have new secret relationships. And the show does show, like, do a really good job of showing moving on after the loss of a partner, even if that loss is kind of a little bit up in the air. Um, there are some major twists in this that I don't really want to get into because it's very spoilery, and it's a much better show to go into if you don't know some of those things. I also think that one of the best parts, though, without being spoilery, is the end of the show because there were so many people who were like, wait, so that happened? And you have to listen very, very closely to the show and to the audio track and to the background and everything to
Mm.
really get the answers you're seeking. Because this is not a show that will like sit there and spell everything out for you and hold your hand. This is a show where it's very much in the little tiny details, including just in the audio, which is insane. So if you like classic slasher fix, this is the way to go.
Yeah, that's one I haven't gotten to yet. But like because it's BOC, it's like like they are so good at those tiny little details that mean everything and like they're just the like way they put things together and like how they go about doing their shows. It's like there's something about them that
Yes.
they you gotta really pay attention.
They put something in that show that was like, I mean, that show in general is just the biggest mind warp, and a lot of that is on purpose because like as you're watching it, you start to kind of feel like, am I going crazy? Do I need to go back? And like, if you watch the first episode and the second episode, a lot of it is very confusing. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll sit there and be like, wait, I don't, what?
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of the characters kind of blur in with each other, and you're a little bit confused and things don't quite make sense. But you have to kind of push through that first two episodes and keep watching because the way that they bring the story together, you're just sitting there going, oh my gosh, I have to go start this from episode one and see everything that they hinted to about this from the beginning because it's Beyond Cloud. And so you know that they're leaving those itty bitty details in there and making you feel like you're the one who's going insane.
Yeah. That's it's good that that's your first one because that's kind of how I felt with the eclipse, which is my next rec, which is very like there's little details and little hints about things that you're not necessarily going to get at the beginning that later on you kind of go, oh, like I need to go watch back again, like start it over and see like where did they kind of reference that or bring it up because it's like so the eclipse is basically following Ak and Ian who are at the Supalo all boys school, which is like the super strict all boys school and they have like really intense rules about like what you can wear and what you can do and how things work there. And there's basically like this group of like rebellious, students called like the World Who Remembers who are challenging the strict rules. And Ak is like our main character. He's like the head student, like top of his class. Like he's doing all the right things, following all the rules, and he's kind of given the task of stopping these rebellious like kids and this rebellious like movement. But then we also have Ian, who's like a new student who just kind of mysteriously starts coming to school. Nobody really knows who he is, like why he's there, like what he's, because it's very like, a very closed community within the schools. Like everybody knows everybody. Like they've all been together forever. So having this new kid come in, they're like, "Who are you? Why are you here?" But he's there to solve a mystery. And like I don't want to give too much away because I think the fun part of this show is like you don't actually know what anybody's doing. Like in the very first kind of episode, you're like, why are you here? Like, what are you doing? Like, you obviously know people are suspicious and they have like their motivations, and like you're kind of looking like maybe you're doing this, maybe you're the one behind that, but you don't actually know until you get further into the story. And like they do it so well because they take so much time before you know why anybody's actually doing what they're doing. Like they spend so much of the show just doing stuff, and you're like, okay, but why? Like, what are you looking for? Who are you? What's this deal with this? Like, why do you hate that guy? Like, what is happening? And you don't know. So we follow like this mystery and like all these kind of, because there's like a curse on the school. So we follow like this curse and like all these different things that are happening. And Ian, who is, trying to infiltrate the school and find out information and do all these different things, but we don't actually know why or how or like what his reasoning is. And then we also have Ian and Ak who are getting to know each other, but kind of like because they hate each other, like they're going against each other, but they have to spend time together because Ak is, finding Ian suspicious, and like there's this back and forth thing happening, and it's just oof, it's a good one. I was like screaming and watching it the whole time. I was like yelling at them all because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, make it make sense.
I feel like that's the first show that like I got to the last episode and immediately went back to the first episode and said I have to watch this again. I feel like there are things that make more sense now
hmm
in a good way. And I
hmm
immediately rewatched it because it was so good. But you also know that I am a sucker for anything first cow. Like if it's got first and cow tongue in it, I'm
Yep.
so here for it.
Yep.
So
I think they just like for my Rex, I had different kind of categories, and like I kind of gave it like gothic vibes. Like it has that vibe of like Ian showing up at this huge like manor almost, and it's like very isolated and insular because everybody at the school knows each other. They only spend time together. Like you never really see them doing anything outside of school or with other people that don't go to that school. So like it feels very like he's almost trapped there in a way, and you're like watching him kind of see what's the school is doing to everybody, but also him trying to like complete his mission, like the reason he's there. Like it feels very gothic without being gothic.
yeah. And that's also one thing you mentioned about you don't really see them interacting with other people and things like that is Suplo is a boarding school. And
hmm
so a lot of the students live on campus, but Ian very noticeably doesn't.
hmm
So you have that like everyone else only associates with the people who they share dorms with and the people that they see every day in school. And he's not just an outsider coming in, but an outsider with one foot still out.
Yeah,
And that's what's so fascinating is the ways in which they convey that story and kind of pull that forward. It just, ugh, I could talk about the eclipse all day. I love
it's
it.
so interesting too because I love like when we first meet Ian, he's coming in, there's like this big incident that's happening, and he's walking in with like a hoodie, which is against, the uniform code, that he's not supposed to wear that. But he's like, yeah, I'm here, I don't care. And like he immediately puts himself in this place of like being the suspicious person. Like he doesn't even come in pretending to like want to fit in. He's just like, yeah, I'll take it off when I want to. Like, I'm gonna wear this, whatever, I don't care. Like, he's very much like purposely putting himself in a bad situation to get the information that he needs. And I'm just like, oh, this could be such a good gothic story with like, the protagonist coming in purposely messing things up rather than things happening to them, like purposely pushing the buttons. It's so good. Like,
Yes,
they do it so well. Oh, it's great. It's great.
I love it. I'm definitely going to skip a little bit ahead in my list because you mentioned the eclipse. And I have one that's not a Halloween pick per se, but it is cozy. And it would be perfect if anyone needs costume inspiration, both in and out of the bedroom. And you mentioned the eclipse, and it is set in P Golf's greater cinematic universe, where you know it's a P Golf show because of the presence of Coffee for All, which is the cafe that they visit in the eclipse, but also in Wandy Good Day, which is my pick. Um, the show obviously isn't a Halloween show, but I like it for Halloween because, you sit there and you see all the bunny ears and tiger tails and you're like, this is perfect. But it's also so cozy and so sweet. In that show, like if you're already on the eclipse, which is like super spooky season and culty energy, or the rebound, which is like good for like fall, and it's kind of got like those mafia-ish vibes, and you're like just going into winter where basketball season kind of takes off. Wandy Good Day like fits right in the middle of that coziness and like sucks all the coziness in. So you've got D, who is super into his coworker. He's a doctor, and he has the hots for like another person who works there. And when he gets shut down, he's also kind of told like, "Hey, but we can still be close because we're going through the same, like going for the same kind of like scholarship or like grant or something." And it's like, "So if you really like me, maybe you can let me win this one," kind of thing. And so he's kind of getting played by this coworker who also is very like, I don't like you, I'm not into you at first. But as you see them going up for like this thing that they're both fighting for, you see D like in shambles. This is a guy who like outwardly has it together. He's a doctor. He's so cool. He's so chill. And inwardly, he's like, I've just been rejected by my crush. I'm having a drink. You see him like run into his patient, which okay, ethical violation.
Hmm.
Yoryak, who's a Muay Thai boxer, um, and starts like dancing in the aisles of a convenience store very awkwardly, like twerking and everything else, which leads to a one night stand, which leads to friends with benefits, which kind of leads to fake dating with benefits. While Dee's like, I need someone to help me show that I'm over this coworker that I'm fighting with. I need someone to kind of like help me through this. And so they become fake dating with benefits in the most awkward, amazing way. But I feel like I'm that like Stefan SNL sketch where it's like this show has everything. Like that's how I feel about this show. I'm like it's got the drunken dancing in the convenience
Hmm.
store. It's got an ace side character who stays ace, like no one tries to fix him. He's openly talking about asexuality throughout the show. The ace character is also a therapist who designs intimacy costumes, and his aloe friends like test these costumes out and give him feedback. Hence the bunny ears, hence the tiger tails. You've got a super amazing sex positive grandmother who supports her queer grandson like unconditionally. She is amazing. She is an icon. I love her. You've got a super cute side couple. You've got a little bit of like shady, sketchy loan shark kind of stuff that creeps in. Like you
Hmm.
have like all of the things. Like this show has everything. It's got a bisexual lead who's like openly trying to manage his feelings and attraction for a woman, but also he's got the friends with benefits with feelings with this man. And he's like, what do I want with my path forward? You've got dating on a time limit because one of them might have to leave. You've got like one of them kind of can't be found out about him dating because he's a professional athlete. Like you have all of these things happening. The show has everything. It's amazing. I don't even know what to say other than that. And also it has Coffee for All because it's in the same cinematic universe as all of the other Peak Golf shows. So I love it. It's cozy. It's cute. If you want something cozy and cute, watch Wandy Good Day.
It's such a good pick. Like it's funny and heartwarming and sweet and cute. And also you have moments where they need to go in the paint shaker for a while. Like
Oh my gosh, I spent that whole time just being like, I will put you back both in the paint shaker until you talk to each other, and I will shake you up until you communicate. But also at the same time, they're so cute and they're so precious, and they bake banana bread together, and it's adorable, and I love it.
It's so
It's
good. It's
cozy.
so cute and cozy. It's, yeah, it's got everything. It really
Yeah, like if you're
does.
doing any baking, like you got to watch their baking scene. It's like it's so cute. I just want to squeeze them and also shake them.
All right. I think the next one I'll do is kind of cozy, but also has a little bit of mystery, but it's more on the like cute, cozy, funny side. So it kind of bleeds into kind of the Wandy Good Day vibes. And that's Love is a Poison, which I am slightly obsessed with and have watched probably at least three
Really?
times now. But so basically we follow Ryoma, who is like this one of the youngest like co-partners at his law firm. He's like super ambitious lawyer, like has won pretty much every case he's ever done. Like he's incredible, but he has a problem. He is supposed to find a partner to work with, but he has dismissed 99 potential partners. Um, And his boss kind of gives him an ultimatum, like, "Hey, I'm not bringing you any more like partners," because the boss had like given him these people to test out to see if he could work with them. He's like, "I'm not doing it anymore. Like, you need to find your own partner. Like, the 100th one needs to be your last one. Like, this is enough, right?" So he goes to a bar one night and runs into Haruto, which is he's a con artist, but Ryoma doesn't know that. And they kind of have a little thing, like they keep running into each other. And Ryoma's like, who is this guy? Like, why do I keep seeing him everywhere? But also he's kind of cute, like maybe, but then um Haruto kind of just shows up at his house and is like, hey, let me be your partner and let me live here, or else, essentially. So they kind of just agree to work together, even though Ryoma like is not interested. And we watch them kind of get to know each other and work together on these cases. But then there's kind of like a mystery that creeps in as Ryoma gets this really big case that like is kind of gonna be really huge for his career and how Haruto might be connected to it. So it's very much like classic like law kind of show where they're doing all the law stuff and like, finding evidence and talking to witnesses and whatever. But it's also like silly and funny and cute and warm. And we've got, succulents that are kind of alive and make comments about what's happening or like talk to the characters and like, oh yeah, you should let him stay here. Like it's very cute. It's very adorable and sweet and silly and weird. And they're like kind of little freaks, the two guys. Like they're just kind of freaky, but like, like it works and it's adorable. I don't know. It's one of those Japanese shows that like I feel you could either really love or really hate because it's very obviously like it is like a law procedural. It's like we're following Ryoma doing these cases, but then we've got, weird con artist guy comes in and then they're also attracted to each other and then there's also some secret mystery stuff happening. So it kind of has it all, but it's also very cozy at the same time.
I love cozy. I love little freaks. That sounds like it's up my alley.
Mm-hmm. They're great. Haruto is like he's everything. He's an icon, fashion icon, like just he's everything.
I love it. That sounds so cute. And
Hmm.
if we're talking about like cozy and cute for the season, I can't help but bring up FC Sold Out. It's not necessarily a Halloween pick, but like if you're in the United States, fall is when soccer teams are starting to enter the playoffs. So it's very much like the most heated soccer season. But also in Korea, soccer season is kind of in the end of its season, and the Premier League is just starting up for the season. So you kind of just are in this point where you actually have soccer going on all around the world for a very short window, which makes fall very soccer energy. Um, and so for me, I'm saying like, yes, fall is the season for Halloween, but it's also the season for soccer, and you can't have one without the other. So, if you've seen me talk about FC sold out, I really love it. The budget is not super there on this one. I'm gonna be
No.
real. Um, you know, I've been reading a behind the scenes book on Ted Lasso and finding out how incredibly hard it is to film soccer in general. And I think that the show kind of ran into some of those constraints. Because like you have a show like Ted Lasso with Apple TV backing it, and they have the ability to like CGN fans into a stadium that they're not allowed to literally touch the grass in. And so like they're filming the pitch in one location, the audience in another, and then CGing them together. That's not something that FC Sold Out really had the budget to do. So if you're there like solely for like feeling like you're in a soccer stadium, you don't get that from the show. But it's so cute. So you have this struggling soccer team that gets bought out by this agency. And immediately they're like, we're getting rid of half of your players. You guys aren't even a really good soccer team, so it doesn't matter. By the way, we're replacing half your team with these like super attractive influencer actor people. They need an image boost. You need to actually like be a team. And I guess if your team crashes and burns, like who cares? You're already struggling. Doesn't matter. We can use this to leverage our idols. Um, so they bring in these actors, and automatically there is animosity because the players don't like the idols, and vice versa, because like the idols are kind of like, why do you hate us? We're here to help you. And the players are kind of like, we don't need you. We want soccer players. Do you guys even know how to kick a ball? Like, really? But there's one wrench in the whole thing because while the team was struggling, one of the soccer players fell head over heels for this idol actor who is now on the team because he saw him play a striker in a movie and connected so hard and fanned so hard that he like is in his group chat fan club kind of thing talking about him. He's analyzing every behavior. He has a cutout of him in his room and pictures on the wall. So you've got like this guy who's like, I love you, I worship you, I'm your biggest fan. And at the same time, it's like my whole team hates the fact that you guys are here. And so I hate the fact that you're here. And also, I fanned too close to the sun. And I'm realizing you are not exactly how I pictured you in my head. And I built up this image of you that maybe doesn't exist. And so now I'm mad at the fact that you're not who I thought you were. Even though it's not your fault, like I'm mad at you for that. Um, and so you've got like enemies to lovers, but also it's like forced enemies to lovers because you can tell he's kind of like, I still worship you, but I hate you.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just one of those things where you just like feel this whole like tug back and forth between them, and you feel like that coziness, and it's so sweet to watch. And you have soccer, and this is a good season for that. And also, it's just so cozy. It's the most cozy. I love cozy things. They are cozy. I want to wrap them in blankets and then put those blankets in a paint shaker also because they were also a paint shaker kind of couple. Um, but blankets that might pad the shaking a little bit.
It is very like it's definitely a very cozy show. And like I know some people didn't like it because of the low budget and like there were some issues with it, but like for some reason we were both just like hooked on it and like hooked on the adorableness of it all and like how like silly and cute and ridiculous their whole like I hate you but I like you thing was. Like,
Their vibe and dynamic was crazy, especially that like this is someone I'm a fan of and have pictures all over my room, and now I've met them and like I had an idea of who they were going to be, and they're not that person, and they kind of suck for not being that person.
hmm.
And it's like, well, they were never going to be that person, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, the cozy vibes. Well, for one of mine is very cozy, and it's not a like I wouldn't call it queer love. I mean, you will understand why when when I explain, but it is a queer show, and it's Koisenu Futari. which is we follow Sakuko, who's like having a hard time living in society that like kind of operates under the assumption that everyone will fall in love. And she is trying to navigate the world where like, friends are dating someone, coworkers are growing, oh, you'll be a really good wife one day, all of that kind of stuff. And while she's doing something for work, she runs into Takahashi, who is a supermarket employee, and he kind of just has like a very one-off comment when they're talking about something, essentially saying like, well, no, not everybody falls in love, and that's fine. And that kind of sets Sakuko up to be like thinking about like, oh, is this like not just a me problem? Like, is this a thing that actually happens to other people? And she finds a blog about someone who is aromantic and asexual, and it ends up being Takahashi. So she, kind of goes to him and is like, hey, like, can we be friends? Can we make a family? Because like I am like you. Like I also am aromantic and asexual and I don't know, what to do with my life right now. And I need like I want that support system of a family, but I don't want romance and I don't want marriage and I don't want kids. So they end up living together and we kind of get to see just them like navigating the world that is very much not designed for them and people kind of being like, well, how can you live together if you don't have a romantic relationship? Like, why are you living with a man that you're not dating? Like, why are you living with someone you wouldn't marry? And like they kind of have to navigate, what's socially accepted or expected of them, but also like what they want and like trying to deal with their like family and friends and how they feel about it and like as someone who is Arrow and Ace, like watching two people get to create the life that they want and not be tied down to what society expects from you was like such a like gut punch, but in the best way. Like it was one of the shows that like I think I cried every single episode for sad things and happy things at the same time. But it feels very like fall because it's like I think it's set kind of in the fall, so like you have all that feeling of like, it's cold and they're like making soup because it's a cold dinner, like it's a cold night, so they're making soup and they have New Year's and like we kind of go through the seasons, but like something about it is just very cozy, even though like it did hurt a little bit, just
Yeah.
like on a personal level, because I was like, oh man, I feel this too hard. Like this is too close to reality, but I love to see it.
I think that's so maybe why I haven't watched it because I know it's going to be a really emotional journey. And I'm like,
hmm
I have to be in the right headspace to navigate the tears of this one, I think.
Yeah, it was definitely one that like I went into it being like, oh my God, amazing, like representation, like you never see that. And then I'm watching episode one, like crying, being like, ouch, no, why does she have to go through this? I understand and I hate it.
That's so unfair too to have like that societal ideal basically of what you're supposed to do and then to realize how exhausting it is to try to navigate that.
hmm
And it's like I shouldn't have to be this tired all the time because people have this idea of who I'm supposed to be and I have these questions I have to answer and I have these things where people are like, "Oh, I'm going to make this comment," and maybe the comment seems innocuous and it's very much not.
hmm
And I don't think people always unpack the difficulty and almost like trauma that's associated with falling outside of that like aloe spectrum, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely one of those shows that I think if you like are curious or interested in like what the experience is of people who are Arrow and Ace, and obviously this doesn't apply to everybody because like everybody's situation is different and how they experience the world and their sexualities are different. But I think specifically for Arrow Ace people, it can be a little bit more complicated just because it's not like one or the other. You have both things. And I think, at least from my perspective, the show did a very good job in showing how that is felt. And because you see two different perspectives of it too, right? Like Takahashi is very different than Sakuko, and like what they want in life is very different, but they're both coming from the place of, I don't want romance. I don't want a romantic relationship. I don't want physical intimacy. But you very clearly see that they're different on, the range of what that looks like to them. So I think if you're
Yeah.
curious about like what these struggles might be and what the like experiences might be of people who are Arrow and Ace, like it's a very good show for that specifically because I think they did a very good job in kind of giving an example, like two examples of what that looks like.
Which I love because I feel like you don't always get like a clear example there.
And I do love that they very clearly state it. Like it's not implied. It's not coded. They're very like clearly state like I am aromantic and asexual. Like they are constantly explaining that and telling that to people. So like it's not even like a oh, it's just coded that way and like you can assume that the characters are like that. It's like no, they are very clearly showing that this is what they are experiencing and this is who they are.
Yeah. Well, while people have the tissues out, if that series causes them to cry, um, I have a Halloween recommendation that will very much hurt anyone who watches it. And mine is Kissable Lips, which is you have a vampire main character. Um, Junho is a vampire who is dying, basically. And he has to have that pure human blood in order to become a human and not risk dying as a vampire, essentially. Like he is on a time limit, essentially. And he does find a human with pure human blood when the perfect person, Min Hyun, like trips and falls into his life and scrapes his finger and he's like, oh my God, that's the pure blood I've been looking for. And so they start to grow closer, but there is an evil vampire, Soo, who knows all of Junho's like traumas and all of his backstory and really leverages it against him to kind of drive a wedge between them. The thing about Kissable Lips is there's a movie version of it, which is great if you just want to sit down and watch like a Halloween movie. Or it has a cut that is like an episodic cut where it's like 15-minute episodes. I don't think there's like a lot more content between the episodic version and the movie version. I think it's just edited two different ways. But one thing that's also really interesting is that if you're a Zero Base One stan, the vampire is actually played by one of their members.
Hmm.
So that's kind of cool. If you're a K-poppy, you got like that whole thing. Um, if you don't want super spoilers, then maybe just like mute for like 30 seconds. But essentially, what happens is this does not have a happy ending. If you're looking for romance, if you're looking for there's a happy for now, if you're looking for sad things happen in episode 11 and then there's a redemption arc and everything's made better and here's a band-aid. The band-aid doesn't come, you're just going to keep bleeding. Like it hurts. You need to be careful going in. Bring lots of tissues. Bring more than a box of tissues. You will be heartbroken because you get to know these characters and yeah, if you're like hoping, because I went in knowing like someone was like, oh, it's really got a sad ending. And I was like, sad ending, great. And they're like, and it's a romance. It's such a good romance. And I'm like, romance, happily ever after. It's gonna happen. Like, okay, I can handle a sad bit. It is not a romance. It should not have been billed as a romance. There was no like things can have romantic elements and still be a tragedy. And I think
Yeah.
people need to know that going into this one. But it's really good. It's really sweet. You will cry.
Yeah, I do think that when you have vampires, there's always the potential of it not ending well in
Hmm.
a number of different ways.
Yes. And that's the thing. I won't tell you which ways in which this doesn't end well, just that if you're looking for a happy ending, you don't get it. There
Hmm.
is no healing. There is no band-aid. It is sad.
Oh, well. On that note, my next one is not quite as heartbreaking, I would think, but starts off with tissues needed. And that's laws of attraction. So we have Charn, who is a really ambitious lawyer. I think lawyers are a theme for some reason today, but anyway, we have a really ambitious lawyer, but he gets removed from this high profile case, right? And he like kind of goes into a rage where he's like, I need revenge and I need to make money and I don't care how I do it. Like he just needs to like prove himself because he got taken off of this case. So he decides to help Tin, who is the uncle of a young girl who was killed in a hit and run that never got justice. So
Ooh.
Charn kind of comes in, and there's like it's a very like public case, like this fact that this little girl in the neighborhood was killed, and like everybody knew her, everybody knows the family, so like it's kind of a big thing that like there was no justice for like they never found out who did it, right? So Charn comes in and he's kind of like, a little, egotistical. Like he's kind of like, oh yeah, like I'm an amazing lawyer. Like I will be on your case. Like I will solve this. And Tin's kind of like, I don't need you. I don't want you. Like I only want someone who actually cares about what happened to my niece. So, they kind of have a little tough start in this, and like Charn is very much like, no, 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 I need to win this case because like I need the high profile of it all. And they go on this whole journey of like who killed her, what happened, and there's kind of like, other forces, other people kind of trying to stop them and trying to keep the secrets. And like it's very much like a thriller mystery kind of vibe. Like there's, some unsavory characters, there's a lot of twists and turns. We have a little bit of like following side characters that are not exactly in the best situations and like are dealing with some, not so great family dynamics and stuff. So like it is a little bit rough at times to watch. Like there's a little bit of like, oof, like that hurts. Um, yeah. It's also one of those ones that like I have to admit my friend got me to watch this because she was obsessed with it. But the first couple episodes I was like, seriously, like this is kind of ridiculous. I was like, the acting's not that great and like, it's like one of those that it's like you can see that it's a show. Like you don't get so immediately sucked in, but then as I kept going, I was like, okay, now I need to know what happened though. Like who did it? What are all the players? Because more things start happening and like people are like actively threatening them to not find out what happened. So it's like there's a lot going on. So as you keep going, you're like, oh wait, I need to know like what is happening here? Who did what?
That sounds so good though.
It's good.
Like I can handle some bad acting if it's gonna be something that turns into like I gotta know what happens.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of here for that.
Yeah, like if you can get over kind of the slight ridiculousness of it, like because there's a little bit of like, oh, come on, like this is a little too over the top, you know? Like if you can get past that, like the story behind it is like it's so good. And like I just was watching, like I was eating it up because I'm like, I need to know what happened and I need to know how they get out of all of this. Like I need to know what happens.
That is so good. And also it's good that you bring up like that it's a little ridiculous because my next pick veers like way into the most ridiculous territory.
Hmm.
It's like very high camp. Um, it's also, I have to say, this is less queer love and more build your ship bit by broken bit kind of content. My pick is also dealing with some unsolved murder, unsolved mysteries in the neighborhood. And the only reason that I hesitated to include mine is because there's not a good traditional way to stream mine. So my pick is Screamed, an unauthorized parody musical. And to watch it, you kind of have the option to either wait for the musical to come back around live again or watch the bits and pieces that have been uploaded to YouTube and TikTok because it's incredible. Um, but the musical takes the classic horror flick Scream, and it adds in a musical aspect of all of these like 90s soundtrack vibes. So the cast is doing Scream, but scream while they sing Don't Fear the Reaper, while they sing Everybody Backstreet's Back. While they like, I mean, you've got like Britney Spears Toxic during like people dying at a party kind of vibes. Um, and the thing that Screamed does very well is in the movie Scream, you have this character, Billy, who is dating the main character. He's there to like kind of support her, but also they're having some issues in their relationship because she's still grieving the loss of her mom. He compares that to him having an absent mom, and she's like, these two things are not the same. Sorry, your mom's absent, but my mom's literally dead and died like somehow horrifically. And you've got Billy's like friend Stu. And in Screamed, the queer tension that already existed kind of in Scream is like ratcheted up to like a billion between Billy and Stu. They were like, oh, you thought these were queer coded? Like, yeah, heavy on the queer. Like, we support gay wrongs in this house kind of thing. Like, that is the kind of vibe that you get from Screamed. And it has a very like largely queer cast behind it. And so it's like it leans so hard into the psychosexual tension between those two characters and like the kinds of issues that they are grappling with when they come into like this whole murder situation. Um, but I think that like TLDR of this is watch all the clips, then go watch Scream, and it will have you seeing those characters in a completely new light. So I guess my rec is kind of Scream, but watch Scream as if you know those two are already completely gay and in love for each other. So again, I'm building my ship bit by broken bit right here.
I
Okay. Like
mean, sometimes we have to.
I will stitch those two together like Frankenstein if I have to. That is my fifth rec. Watch any clip you can find of the unauthorized musical parody show because it's so good. It's so well done. Everything about it's amazing, but also it's very hard to access. So watch that and then go watch Scream.
Amazing. Well, it gave you like all the different vibes you could possibly want in the fall. Like we gave you scary, ridiculous, cozy, like kind of gothic, like sad. Like
Yes. We've got the full gamut of emotions,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah, next year I'm sure we'll come back around with like a whole different vibe because we'll have watched all of the supernatural, horror, scary shows
Because I'm
before.
telling you, like, while I was picking what I wanted to talk about, I was also like scribbling notes of everything I have to watch before next year.
hmm
So,
I have such a long list. But that also
yeah.
means that in the comments, you need to tell us what your favorite Halloween adjacent, fall adjacent, BL or GL or QL, whatever is, so that we can watch it before next year.
Yes. Tell us which ones to prioritize because otherwise our list will be never ending.
Exactly, because there's too many and there's new ones airing and being announced and coming out soon. Like there's too many.
I know. I swear, like, I don't even watch the first episode of one vampire show before the next one gets announced. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm not ready. I asked for vampire BLs. I did not mean turn on the fire hose.
I know. Like between that and the supernatural ones, like when I was looking for Rex, I was like, oh, there's a lot of supernatural ones that I need to watch. And I haven't. Like the list is too long now.
I said when Pit Babe came out and when the season ended that I was going to go back and watch the one that has Supernet in it that is like a ghost series. I think it's called Somebody's in My Room or something.
Yeah.
Um, and so like I was going to go and watch that and then I never did. And so I'm like still behind.
You know
So,
what we need
but
to
I,
do? We just need to like pick a time and we need to buddy watch everything and force each other to watch all of our
yes,
supernatural and
actually
scary
sit
and
and watch
vampire.
them. We have to do it. We're going to do it so we have more Halloween recs next year. As the
Exactly.
perfect season to watch them.
Exactly. So tell us what to watch in the comments so we
Yes.
can make sure to prioritize those.
Yes.
Yeah,
Tell us, watch this first, and we will.
we will.
So,
All right. We'll see you next time.
bye.
Bye.